Let's go to YouTube. Welcome to Upside DIY. So I got a lot of stuff sorted out. Well, not a lot, but I'm going after some of my stuff gets finished. I got a couple more of the clear silicones, and then I could either repair piezo lighters, and then I've got pretty much uh, cardboard boxes to glue. So I got some of the other silicone, and then the clear silicone. I, I mainly wanted to check one of the gaskets. I glued this back one on, and I didn't add pressure when I needed to, but it's so I might have to take that off and re-glue it. I forgot, or was kind of excited doing it, and I forgot to make sure it was getting glued, and it, now I've got to basically use crazy glue or something, maybe take that off and re-glue it. Some of it's glued, but not all of it. So, but for now, yeah, unfortunately, it would have been nice to get it all finished up, but I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't hold it down, so it didn't glue correctly. But it's an average piece, average. I'm gonna coat most of the seal with green glue and mixed in with silicone, so and also try to fill in gaps with hard rubber. Maybe there's a gap there, so I did kind of a bad job on that, basically. But I'm pretty sure on this side I was holding down the rubber with like a butter knife, basically. So, but I need to and then I've got like a bunch of small pieces which are going to be glued eventually. Well, it needs to be cleaned up, but I could use some of these pieces to cut little small. So I'm gonna put as much of this stuff, clean up as much of the stuff, and then put it into like a small bag. And then and then I'm probably gonna just put this to the side for a day or two until I get a couple of things finished up and stuff. So I've got a small bag here, and then with this one, I finish weaving everything, and then I'm going to. So I just need to cut off the needle, basically. So I'm going to basically coat the fishing line. So I'm going to use silicone first, clear silicone, and then epoxy over the clear silicone to give it some protection, and so that anything jagged won't just snag onto it, and then eventually it might. But this basket had a really small welds, so so I just did my own, just made it more firm and more supported, hopefully, and then with hot glue, and then added the fishing line. So it's kind of how it is. I think it's just gonna I'm just gonna have to do what I can at first, and which is probably this basket, um, and then put and then pretty much touch up that. So I really got to do really important stuff. But if you know, stuff gets a little too complicated, I kind of try to do something easy. But so do this stuff, and then I've got to take apart these lighters, and then I got the clear silicone to finish touching weatherproofing a few backpacks. So that's another big project that I've got to do. So hopefully, hopefully, I'll just do one by one. But sometimes there's just so much stuff, I, you know, I, so that I start to kind of like want to rush everything, and even some stuff happens that just being too picky at stuff and things, but and having to cover do a few things. But would like to have a few things ready to go exploring and stuff. And the cameras and flashlights, sorting out some of the LED lights. The ones with the lenses that I put the lenses on, I think I'm gonna just use them for around the shop with like a headlight. These ones right here, the blue ones, basically. I have two LED headlights so that I could, kind of stick them or tuck them into the headband, and it gives off a really good light. I feel really comfortable, you know, you know, being hands free when I'm working on stuff. So that's going to be another situation, and having certain lights specifically for exploring, just in case there's just a window to get something cool out of it. I think I actually have a lot of stuff. It's maybe a dumpster dive just once in a while. Well, I'll just have to figure out like the excuse that I'm going to use. Go to a pretty much a drop off area. There might be some cool stuff. There might be toys or something, or the Goodwill, basically. The Goodwill drop off. They used to have a lot of different spots, and sometimes things will get full or whatnot, but and that was a couple of years ago. But yeah, so all these piezo lighters, and then uh, basically some outdoor gear and backpacks. Um, and then I've got to pretty much, sort out a few things. When I pretty much, have the supplies, I kind of try to do everything. So if I have this clear silicone out, I want to try to finish up the backpack. So I think, just looking around, I could probably finish up the backpacks just in this area, get things silicone here, and then move them to another spot. So let's go ahead and put in one tube. I really want to get some more, clear silicone just in case. So I should be able to, just get some of this stuff out of the finish and out of the way, and then ready for the next thing. So I got the clear silicone ready. And then I just needed something to help spread it. Probably just use my finger. So while I'm going to smooth out this stuff, all the excess, I'm going to transfer to kind of like where I need the silicone on this. And then I'm just going to have this sitting out. I think I'm just going to do a certain portion and then just have it a little more worked on, just like up here. And I don't know, maybe I could use like the tip of this piezo. I do have another one. It kind of helps smoothing out, using the finger. It does make a little bit of a mess, but I'm going to have to tape the tip of this, so I've got extra tape. So I just got this right here, and so just show you guys the tool that I just made. It does work pretty good. It just needs to add some more silicone, and kind of at the end I'm gonna just rub around, just the edges. And alright, so I'm gonna use a little bit of the wrapper to have some silicone out and dab at little spots with that popsicle stick. So alright, so I think that's pretty much finished up all those. I push or put some in all the little pinholes that I could find. I really want to like smear just any extra excess towards the middle. But I think just getting at this point, I'm better off just setting it and letting it dry. So I'm kind of gonna set it aside just to let it dry. I could always touch up with some epoxy that I need to actually get some more of. But so yeah, that's pretty much just the probably I do want to this looks a little loose or something, but eventually I'll probably go to try to use epoxy again on the outside. I just want everything really tough. So I'm gonna have this bag out just in case I find some more small rubber pieces, and I'm just gonna put this back to just the pile of stuff, and then now I've got more clear space to work with. And then I'm actually trying to, since I could access the other backpack, there's also another main backpack that I really want to do. But this one is kind of underneath a few things, so I kind of just, well, it wasn't underneath too bad, so I just needed to make sure everything is cleared out, because sometimes the glue is, some of the stuff, debris might still stick and stuff. So really want to try to have a clean spot to start with. And this backpack, I did do some of the shoulder right here, and I mainly want to do this is when I decided to start adding silicone to stuff, and even this material on the side. It's going to be a tough decision and I need to get a wood board, but I really want to just cover up what I did. I was thinking of doing this side paneling, but it goes all the way down underneath the webbing and stuff, and I do, this can be a pretty good shoulder bag just because it could connect to like another backpack and stuff. And but I might save this just because this backpack right here is kind of like the same material and stuff. I might even want to try to save just the whole, well, no, I think I'm going to have to do this one. But I'm thinking maybe it's a good summer bag, or just a light bag, or a summer bag, which is okay, I think. And it just goes with that. I really don't want to waste too many more, silicone attempts and things like that, or just need an endless supply of stuff when I don't. So I'm just going to just keep it as just whatever silicone exists, and then remind myself it's going to kind of match up with that backpack, just in case. I can always figure out a few things later on, but it's just going to be a light summer bag, I would think, or just a short, yeah, basically a summer bag. That's just how it is. I just wanted to try to correct a mistake, and I'll see you guys on the next Upside DIY. And the thing I forgot to mention, I did get another piece of wood to kind of keep things elevated from touching. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching. So I'm going to do a small cardboard box review eventually, or just this one. This is a pretty cool DIY, but yeah.